I thought it was a gutsy win. We've had some games at home recently where we've had a larger margin of victory. This game, it took a clean sheet. I think that's important. It's important to put up a clean sheet and to grind out a 1-0 result. Obviously, we should have scored a second and third goal. Sometimes you don't. If you don't score it, you gotta buckle down and grind and put up a clean sheet, and we did. And I thought our guys played with a lot of heart today and gave everything in terms of the intangibles, and that's what it takes. That's the difference in this league. In terms of talent, it's pretty similar, but it takes hunger, it takes the intangibles, it takes defending everyone, all 10 guys, and I thought we got that today.
You've had some success against RSL, I think 7 goals in 7 games. Is there something about them that brings out the best in you?
No. I think I just go into the game believing that I can help the team win. 2 goals, of course. Today we played very well from back to front, so we stepped up really high, and we got the goal from our step up. So I think it was important. But the goals sometimes they just come, and I was lucky to be in the right place at the right time.
Were you lucky, or what did you see? See the ball?
Just instincts. I saw when the cross was coming, and I was just there. I said he could miss it, and he missed it. So I was right in front of goal, but I think I could take a shot with my left foot, but I wasn't very sure of it. So I had to just bring it back to my right, and it was a comfortable one.
Yeah, it looked like you took a second there. Just talk about that thought process.
Yeah, sometimes in front of goal you have to be very composed because you see the goal but you can miss it. So I was just, I took my time to see where the goalkeeper was standing, and I had to just kick it in, and I think it was an easy one.
Do you think you should have a couple more?
Definitely, we played well. We had a couple of more chances, and as the coach said, sometimes you don't get a second, but I think altogether we did pretty well today.
Darlington came back obviously today, and I thought he was a huge reason of why you guys were so good in the first half. Can you just talk about his performance and what he brought to the field tonight?
You thought right. I don't always agree with you, but on that one, you thought right. Yeah, he's a big difference maker for us, which is why last week I didn't overanalyze the last game. And I said that to the guys. There are times that you just got to throw a game away, and you can't overanalyze it, because I knew Darlington and Apos would be coming back in, and that would change a lot. But I thought, again, it wasn't so much those two, it was the other guys performed today. That's big. You need good performances across the board, and we got that today. And, I thought we really played as a team, and these guys gave everything they had. And that's what it's going to take from here on out. But Darlington certainly was Darlington. Him and Valeri, Valeri plays better when Darlington's there, and Darlington plays better when Valeri's there. So those two guys together, the way they come inside and, find balls in pockets and rotate and help us keep possession. And then I thought Darren actually had a really good game playing wide, looking to penetrate and be that third man kind of running in the combination. We worked a lot on this week playing Fanendo Adi and getting little drops to Darlington and Valeri, and then Darren becoming the third man in the action. But I thought he had a really good game, and it wasn't just his pace, but it was his work rate, his defending, his fight. He's a key guy for us on set pieces as well. So that was kind of the reason why we went with him in this game.
How is Alvis Powell doing? Do you know what the injury is?
Yeah, I asked him. He said it was an ankle, and then I asked him if he was going to be all right, and he said yeah. So I'm hopeful that he'll be okay.
100 sellout. Just talk about what this environment does, especially in a tight, close game like this.
Yeah, that's 10 wins now on the year. I don't know what the club record is. 11. So we'll get that next week, hopefully. But our form at home has been better than ever. And that's the reason where we're at. So obviously we got to get the road form right. We know that. But if we take care of business in the home games, we're going to be in good shape, and we know we can win on the road. We know it's not a problem. It has been this year, the results, but we know how to win on the road. We've shown that the last 2 years. But we don't need to worry about that right now yet. We need to just win this next game at home, and that was the goal, to get 6 points in the home games. And The reason we play so well at home is we play aggressively. We play to attack. We play proactively. You know, that was the goal today, just like last week. And when we play that way, that's when we're at our best. And we need to take a page from our home book on the road. We tried that last week. It, for some reason, didn't come off. Maybe it was the heat. Maybe it was having Alice Darlington there, not there. But we're at our best when, like Adi said, we're pressing from the front and we're creating turnovers. And we can be a good counterattacking team, but we can't be a counterattacking team for 90 minutes. You know, we're not good when we just sit deep for 90 minutes. And you saw when we did sit a little too deep, you know, first half and second half, that's when they gave us the most problems. You know, so we need to, you know, stick more with the front foot, pressing high up the pitch, because when we do that, that's when we're at our best.
Caleb, we didn't see Lucas Milano at all tonight with, you know, lack of a start notwithstanding. There were some opportunities in the second half to get out on the counter, as you mentioned. What was the reason for Milano's omission?
Yeah, you know, really easy. Obviously, we made the first sub, you know, with Ned going in because we felt Ned would bring some possession. I let it run as long as we could because I felt like, you know, we were in good shape with the group that we had, the group we started. Sometimes as a coach, you can make a sub too early just because you can sub. And I thought we were, you know, in a good spot. I liked the group that we had out there. Darren was continuing to create. We knew he couldn't play 90 because he had only played 45, being out 7 weeks. But he, you know, gave about 65 or so, and he kept looking lively. And so we left him as long as we could. And then, you know, I was waiting the whole time because I had Ned or Luca ready. You know, if we would have given up the goal, I would have gone Luca and maybe taken out Jack and shifted Darlington in, gone with one pivot. And I had Ned ready as well because I also felt like if it kept going where we were up, go Ned because he's a good defender. He keeps the ball for us. We weren't getting a ton of possession. So that was the first sub. And then obviously I kept Luca ready as well along with Zemansky because, again, you got to sit and watch and see how it goes. And if they would have scored again, Luca would have gone on again. And as it turns out, I let it roll as long as I could. I didn't want to take off with Larry too soon because if we needed to pull a goal back, you know, so I waited. And then obviously in stoppage time, we had to go Jermaine and Ben. So that's the thought process behind it. I mean, we plan all these subs, we plan the scenarios, and then you got to feel the game. And, you know, you can't make them too early because sometimes you do that. Now you have nothing in the tank. If you make them too late sometimes, you know, so I mean, I thought we had patience today with the subs.
You went with the single pivot as your primary set down the stretch last year. Do you think that club is in the bag this year?
Yeah, I think so. I think we can pull that out, you know, every once in a while. But, you know, I think Darlington's playing awful well wide. You know, when he plays in the middle, it's interesting because he ends up playing sometimes too deep. You know, and yeah, he plays well. I'd like to play Darlington on both wings and, you know, both at the, I mean, you know what I mean? You play him everywhere, you know, but Jack Jewsbury brings set pieces. He brings leadership. He's very good at, you know, getting the ball off the backs and helping us with possession. He's a smart player. And the other thing is, you know, we pushed Chara on higher. You know, we've been doing that, and I think that allows us to do that with Jack in the game. You know, Chara can now float around and hunt the ball and look to press, and it helps our pressing because he gets higher, and then he's very good on the counter. So once he picks up balls and runs or joins, and so I think that's been a good tactical shift, and honestly, I think that's our best way to go with this group. And, you know, you can argue that all you want, but this is a different team. We don't have Rodney, we don't have Jorge. You know, those two guys are very good defenders, which help kind of balance out. And I also think anytime you change something tactically, sometimes you get a little bit of that initial impact, and then teams start figuring it out, which is why early in the year, when we went back to it, it wasn't working. Everybody's bringing wingers in, overloading Chara. We don't get Chara's ability to go and hunt the ball and float around, and Darlington ends up now having to come too deep, and he never gets in the final third. You know, so these are all things we've talked about, but, you know, we weren't getting results out of that early in the year.
Caleb, how do you approach Wednesday, given the importance of the home game of the weekend?
Yeah, we're going to go and win it. You know, that's the goal. You know, we understand what we need to do. Obviously, the Dragon result. The draw versus Saprissa was a big result. You know, if we win versus Saprissa and Dragon, then we're in. At the very least, if we beat Dragon and we get a draw in both games, the road game and the home game, then we're through. If we lose, obviously, to Saprissa, then we got to win the next two. So it becomes a crucial game, you know, to try to pull out a win if you can, because then now that last game doesn't matter if we can beat Dragon, and Dragon's out, you know. So it'll be interesting to see how they approach, you know, the game. But we're going to go there with a good plan to try to get 3 points so that we can maybe win the Dragon and not have to worry about the last week of the season. But if it doesn't go that way, we know we still can win the next two and get through. And, you know, no matter what happens, I like our chances in that last game at home.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.